Ivan, welcome back.
Thank you.
Were you starting to wonder if this day was going to come, say a week or so ago, when things were kind of up in the air? Were you always confident this would happen, or were you wondering?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously, I knew that they knew that I wanted to stay. I think my understanding was that they, wanted to keep me. Obviously, I think it's not a secret. They obviously explored it and looked at other options, and definitely was a stressful week. I think for a little bit, definitely didn't know if I was coming back or not, but I think obviously the want for me was to stay and to re-sign here, and I'm glad we were able to come to an agreement and keep all of this together.
And can you say just how, I don't know if pleased or proud is the right word, but you and your agent played this? Like, the market really helped you guys. It seemed like once the draft passed, the leverage was firmly in your court. Did it just change after that? Did you feel a whole difference in the conversations?
I mean, not necessarily. I think, market is at what it's at. I think it's overall. I think it's a good contract for both sides. I think I'm obviously happy to be here for 7 years. I think it's a well compensated contract for what I bring to the table, and I think it's a good contract for a team, and where it puts the team with the salary cap, and I think overall, like I said, I think it's a pretty good contract for both sides.
Go ahead, Hedge.
Yeah, Ivan, congratulations on the new contract.
Thank you.
You mentioned it, that, there was a point there where it was pretty clear they were looking at potential replacement options or, fill-ins. When you're in your spot, how do you not take that personally? You know what I mean? Like, is it just you have to lean on it being it's just the hockey business side of it?
Yeah, I obviously understand the side of a righty on the right side compared to a lefty on the right side. I think I'm not gonna hide it. I think it's easier for a lefty to play on the left side, and it's easier for a righty to play on the right side. I think last year I've done a good job playing on the right side, and I don't think a righty could have done better on the right side last year than what I did. But I obviously understand that in some ways it makes things easier. Obviously when you're looking at the team and you ideally can have 3 lefties and 3 righties in the lineup, obviously it makes some things easier, but I don't think I don't think it's always the right thing to do. So I think if you have a lefty that are able to play both sides, it doesn't matter. I think throughout this past season, I played a lot, and for the most part, more than half with Maddie, and I think we've done a good job together. And at some point in the season, I played with Z, and I think we were able to make it work too. And I think when Z and I played together, I think we were probably a top 3 pairing in the league with how much we were able to create offensively and how much we played and how much, how good we played defensively too. So yeah, I think obviously I understand that part of it, and but I understand that it's also business first, and obviously you gotta be able to explore options and see if there's anything out there. But at the end of the day, I'm glad we both were able to come to an agreement and continue this, moving forward.
Go ahead, Mark. Well, you've talked over and over again about just how comfortable Columbus was. Just what factors made it so that you felt comfortable in signing here long term?
Yeah, I think overall, I think that starting from the locker room, I think it's a great group of guys. Everyone gets along. It's a great coaching staff. I think we took a tremendous stride last year overall, whether it's our overall team play or I think a lot of guys individually. I think it's a great city with a great fan base, and overall it's just great living, easy, peaceful, great place to raise a family.
How much of a bonus is it for you to stay here, while your brother plays at Ohio State?
I mean, obviously it's exciting. I think whether he comes the following year or 2 years from now, obviously having him close would be really fun, and be able to go to his games or him stopping by for dinner once in a while. I'm excited for that.
Completely had a brain freeze there. We had a chance to talk to Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle yesterday, two new players who talked about wanting to come to a team on the rise, how they see this team building. For you, I imagine that may have played a part in it as well. How exciting is to kind of maybe want to see this through, see the improvements from last year and kind of keep building on it?
Yeah, I think we've taken tremendous strides in the past 2 years. Even from the start of last season, I think we got better and better as the season went on. Obviously, there are some times where there were downs and there were ups, but I think our team managed those a lot better than we did 2 years ago. I think we're able to learn how to win and how to put winning streaks together, and I think our whole team is pretty young. Our core group is late 20s, early 30s. All the younger players that are becoming a core are in their early 20s and improving. And I think overall every player on this team took strides in getting better, and I think that's exciting. I think if we're able to put our best team game forward, I think we can win a lot of games and hopefully win a championship.
Certainly a lot was made about the goals against last year, and at least to this point in free agency, it looks like that most of the defense is coming back, kind of running it back a little bit. So what gives you guys the confidence that that area specifically can be improved?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, I think missing Goody last year for most of the season, I think just overall will help us having him back. I think just another season together as a decor will be helpful. Obviously, overall, another year in the same system will be helpful. And just overall, I think this team is hungry to get better and will continue to get better. But I think overall, having everyone, that was there last year come back I think it's a great thing for this team, and I think we can take massive strides on the defensive aspect of the game.
Building off that, do you think that applies to the team as a whole? I mean, like when you look at last year, you had a number of players, doesn't matter the position, have breakout years, but they're young. Can these young guys, is there another level that you think that they can get to that can help take this team even higher? Yeah,
I mean, all those guys set career highs in points, and we didn't even make the playoffs. So if the team makes the playoffs, if they're top 6 in the conference, obviously everyone's number is going to get better. We're going to win more games, and more wins lead to more goals for and less against. And when you have more goals for and less against, everyone's stats are a lot better individually. But I think this team doesn't really focus on that, which is really what you want to have as guys that just want to play their best, contribute in any way they can, and whether it's goals and assists or blocks and hits. So I think, like I said, overall, if we're going to continue to get better, everyone's numbers are going to get better. But the great thing about this team is that we don't focus on that.
You and Zach were in the same draft, obviously, so you're about the same age. He won the world championship this year, and I remember he was telling us basically it just stoked the fire even more that he wants this team to take that next step and get to the playoffs. It's been a few years for you since the playoffs. Where's your level as well of hunger, just getting back to the playoffs and enjoying postseason hockey?
I mean, obviously that's what you play all 82 games for, you know. In the way, it's not totally meaningless, but you know, you play for a championship, you play for a chance to make the playoffs, and then go try to win the championship. And if you don't make the playoffs, you can't win. So obviously, the ultimate goal is to try to win a Stanley Cup, and you can't do that without making the playoffs. So yeah, I'm obviously hungry to, you know, do better myself, do better as a team, and try to get into the playoffs this upcoming season and go from there.
Do we have any other questions for Provy?
Where is he taking the GM to dinner tonight?
Your choice.